Hello everyone, Eileen here. I'm going to share with you how I made this card today, as I promised I would. But before I do, can I just say a huge thank you to everyone that messaged me, that gave this card likes and lovely comments that I've read on various Facebook groups and on my profile page itself. I can't thank you enough. Your interest is so appreciated. Thank you. And I'm going to have some fun showing you how I made this card. So let's go. I have a couple of bits of copy paper, and I've also got a piece of cardstock. And I'm also using a piece of stamping foam here. Just gives me a softer base than that matte for stamping and for stenciling. Okay. Right, this piece of cardstock, this is super smooth white cardstock. It's around about 300 GSM, might be 330, can't remember. But it is, yeah, super smooth white. You can use any colour you like, ivory, cream. It, you know, it doesn't matter, it's up to you. And then I've also got a T-square. You can use a ruler if you wish. But before I use the T-square, that's the main implement, I'm going to mask off the bottom. This is Sweet Poppy Stencil stencil tape. Piece along the bottom, piece along the top. Just to protect those areas, because I want them to be white with the stripes in the middle, of course. Right, this end comes up, pop that in there, and do the same this end to stop the tape sticking to the card, to the paper. Right, the T-square, really inexpensive. I bought this from Amazon, $2.99, but you can use a ruler if you haven't got one of these. But I really like the fact that they clip on the lip of the card and it's easier to hold. So down a little bit from the first lot of tape, and with one of these brushes, this I bought from my local do-it-yourself shop, and this has got an angled edge here, flat edge. You only need one brush. And it comes down at an angle, so it's easier to do the stripes across. And this, again, was inexpensive. Any DIY should have those, and I've actually seen them on Amazon as well. Inks I'm using, Archival Goldenrod, Prickly Pear, Red Geranium, Seafarer. These are the inks, the colours that I'm using to create the stripes. Goldenrod first. This is where you need 3 hands. Pop that on there. Just testing to see how much ink I've got on. Right, on the left-hand side, I need to really give some depth of colour to the ink. But as I go across, I'm releasing the pressure on the brush and just skimming over the surface to give me my stripe over to the right. But I don't want it to be too deep in colour. All the colour is just going to be really over on the left. That'll be the first one. You must, between each stripe, clean either your T-square or ruler, otherwise you get a brown line. And sometimes that looks arty, and other times it just looks like a load of mud. So I clean it off now. So that was goldenrod. Next, I'm going to have some red geranium. Don't bother with a different brush. Again, not too much ink on the brush. Add more layers as you need to get the depth you want. That's over on the left, and then across to the right, but not right over to the end of the first one, because I want different stages, different lengths of the stripes, so that they're not all uniform. That should do. Like so. Again, clean that. Down again. And I'm going on to blue now. Now the blue is quite a strong colour. Very strong colour, look. Again, build up the colour. Now go up into the other two with this blue, because you're going to, well, I'll show you in a moment why I'm doing that. It's so that the stenciled circles will show more. So again, coming across, but I'm not going right to the end. So again, it isn't uniform. This one will be a shorter stripe. Like so. And then next, shall we have some of the prickly pear? Oh, that might be a good idea. That's a lovely colour, look, prickly pear. Oh, yes. Take some of the blue off. Now give it some welly over on the left, and then release the pressure as you go to the right. And I think I will come out more on that. So that's a nice long stripe there. Again, don't forget to wipe it. And then up we go, and this will be goldenrod, because I love that colour, and I think I used it twice. Nowhere near the length of the others. But again, the depth of colour over there, on the right, on the left, sorry, and then going towards the right, release the pressure again. There we are. Easy, isn't it? You can use a stripy stencil, but I've got those, and I love them, but it's not as much fun as this. And then finally, taking it down more, my last colour will be red. Move these out of the way. There's the red, and I'm really going across now. I want that to be quite a long stripe, the last one. There we are, that will do. So, taking off the tape, make sure the fingers are clean. And that's what I've got. But I'm switching it round because I want the circles to come across this way. So I'm switching it round so that the red that was the last to go on is now top. Get that? Of course you do. Playtime with an eraser. So some of these colours are a little bit muddy, some of them are a little bit flat. So I'm going to use this eraser, which is a sand and rubber eraser, mono, Tombow Mono, 510A, 510A, and it's got a soft eraser edge and then a sand eraser edge for tougher conditions, you know. I use this a lot as well. But use the soft one on this because it depends on what cardstock you use on whether or not it will take the punishment from these erasers. So I just want to add stripes with the eraser in the stripes. And how I do that is to remove the colour to give me a stripe. And that gives me a bit more interest. But say that you go too far. So now I'm going to add some colour in to give me a bit more colour. And I'm just using mainly yellow, to be honest, because I found that yellow just brightens up any colour that you use it over. It doesn't matter. Actually, could do with a brighter yellow here. Any pencil crayon will do, and I use pencils in case I make a mistake and I need to use the eraser to get rid of it. You're just adding interest now. Add interest, add a bit of colour, add a bit of extra depth, and where the colour is a bit blocky on this edge, use the yellow to go over it to make it blend in to the other colours going across the card so that it doesn't look so blocky, it's not so stark. Not everywhere, I'm not using it. And then I'm taking that softer edge again and a little bit of a blend here. Knock it back a bit. You can play about until you're happy with what you've got. So I'm quite liking what I've got there. So I'm going to stop. And next it's the stencil and some paint. Now I did use, on one of my cards, I did use this Unicorn White, white pigment ink from Hero Arts. And it works well through the stencil that I'm going to use, but it took about 5 or 6 applications to make any inroads into these stripes. So on the card that I've made here, I used white Paper Artsy paint. Let me just see if you can see that better. You see they show up more, don't they? And that was sort of 1-2 applications, and so it was much quicker. So I've got the paint, Snowflake. Any chalk-based paint will do. I've found that the normal acrylics sometimes are a bit too shiny for this, but a chalk-based paint worked really well. So pop some down. Come on. I did shake this. It was shaken well. Right, don't want to make a mess now. And the stencil, yes. This is the little darling that I used. None of this putting the dots down one at a time. Oh, no, 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 no. Let's be quicker than that. This is from Visible Image, Bubbles and Fizz. So what do you get? Well, you get this large piece, which I cut about with scissors, and I had to staple it back together again because I use it on my gel press. And then the little darling that I've used on the stamp is the other side of it, okay? Now look, to me, my craft products, they are my tools. And I like to re-engineer them with scissors. It doesn't matter what they are. I'm not fussy or proud. I'll cut up stamps, stencils, anything. As long as it serves me well. And in this case, I still use this. I still use them together with difficulty. And this one is just, this is perfect for putting these circles on. So find the top line of your stripes if you're using one of these, and as I've said, they're available from Visible Image. And then over I went like that, and that was the pattern that I used on the card that I made and posted. So just popping down some tape to hold that in place. Got my paint, got a smoothie, spread the paint out. Blink and you'll miss this. Oh, better protect my card here. Yes. And at the bottom, yes. That would be a good idea, Eileen. And then just bish, bash, bosh. Look. Take some more paint up. Make sure the stencil doesn't move, folks, because you'll smear the paint. Right, now this paint dries very fast. So I'm just going to have a break. Get some more paint. Pop it down. I think my bottle's nearly empty. I should get some more of this. Bit too much there, so scoop some of it up. Fingers on a cloth. Right, spread the paint out. This one underneath should have dried now. And then bish bash bosh again. Apply the paint quite thickly up this end. I mean, this is why I increased the colour, so it was darker this end, so that you would see the contrast between the colour and the stencil. Are you ready? Done. Off. There we are. That's not bad. Do with another coat maybe, but I think I can live with that. You can increase the whiteness of your stenciled circles as much as you like, just by adding more paint. Right, Misty. Remove all this. I've got one of these sticky sheets down here in my Misty as well. So just going to pop these down, the magnets, keeping the little devils away from each other. All right, and then I'm using a stamp from, again, Visible Image, from a birthday set. Now this is a new release. This is all birthday words, phrases and fonts, and it's really lovely. Celebrate, happy birthday, have a fabulous day. And this one really caught my eye for two reasons. Have an amazing day is something that I don't see very often on the sentiment, but I love the fact that it's in lowercase, all of it. Down it goes along that bottom edge. Because it's quite delicate, gently press, pick it up, first fine Claire Nocturne, gentle tapping, very gentle tapping, because I don't want the ink to splodge on the stamp. Over we go, down, press, up. That's it. No waiting for the ink to soak in or anything. That is a delicate font, and it's you know, I don't want it to smear or squash. Put my Misty away, and on to the last piece of to do now. Copy paper back. That comes over. Black Sharpie. Close your eyes if you're squeamish. Clean hands. Oh, yes, indeedy. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that edges your card nicely. Little trick that I saw from Barbara Gray of Clarity Stamps. Nicked the idea and have been using it ever since. And that's done. Right, card blank is 19 centimetres by 14 centimetres. So I've folded it, creased it, cut it to that size, 19 by 14, and then just placed on foam pads actually. I use foam pads to raise it up from the back of the card, my topper. And that's it. And I love making that. I enjoyed showing you how. And I hope that you enjoyed it too. Thank you so much. I might see you again soon. Bye for now.